Welcome to the Daily Devo. My name is Bob Bryant. Today we're talking about the devil's coming after you. Do you remember the days of elementary school? Maybe there was a bully in your school. I know that there was one in my school. And for some reason, I was one of his many targets. And so I was younger. I was probably in 3rd grade and he was in 6th grade. And I think it was about taking my lunch or taking my lunch money. I don't really remember, but there was a bully and he bullied us around and he took things from us. Well, one day, one of the bigger kids in 6th grade, who was bigger than this bully, decided that the bully had had enough of this. And he was going to argue and defend and be there for us younger guys. And so I walked home that day knowing this, that the bigger guy was going to protect me from the bully. And that's a great feeling. And I want you to know that the devil has asked to come after you. But Jesus is saying, I got you. Would you join me in 1 Peter chapter 5, verses 8 and 9? Be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour. Resist him, standing firm in the faith, because you know that the family of believers throughout the world is undergoing the same kind of sufferings. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour. That's frightening. Here's the idea. The devil wants to attack your faith. He wants you to, before you end this lifetime, he wants you to end it faithlessness. And he doesn't want you to make it to heaven. He wants to come and create doubts in you, create fear in you so that you don't turn to God. He's trying to get you to see that God is not loving. God is not really there. God won't listen to you, that he won't help you in the times of need. That's what the devil is trying to do. He's roaring to create fear so that we don't run to the Lord. Do you remember Job? Remember how the devil had this conversation with God in the heavens, and there was this idea where the devil was asking to go after Job, and he was permitted to be on a leash, and the devil was allowed to take his children. The devil was allowed to take Job's health. He was allowed to take Job's wealth. And even the roar of the devil scared Job's wife to the point that she says, why don't you just turn your back against God and end this thing? Do you remember Jesus? The devil went after Jesus. Do you remember how the devil tempted Jesus with physical food and earthly praise and worship and things like that? And you wonder sometimes why? Why in the world would God allow the devil to come after us? Do you remember the story of Joseph? And I really like the ending of that story. You know, Joseph was betrayed by his family. He was imprisoned under false accusation. He was forgotten in prison for like 15 years. And then God raised him up to be number 2 of all of Egypt, gave him visions to storehouse food, and saved the nations from famine. And at the end of the day, somebody was asking, like, why? Why did all of this happen? In Genesis 50:20, Joseph said this, what my brothers and other people meant against me for evil, God meant it for good. You can see, God wanted his man to be in Egypt, to rise up to the level of power so that he could get Pharaoh to storehouse food to save the nations, including God's people. And so what looks awful can be used by God for great things. Be on alert. Do not be caught off guard. Do not grow weary. Do not be apathetic or spiritually pathetic, but be on alert, be sober-minded, be ready for every challenge. There's this one quote that I really like. It says this, the roaring of the devil is the crazed anger of a defeated enemy. And if they do not fear his ferocious bark, they will never be consumed by his bite. The part I wanted you to key on, or that I'm keying in on, is the roaring of the devil is the crazed anger of a defeated enemy. I want you to know, the devil already has lost the battle. The devil knows that he lost the battle. The devil is defeated. He's going to hell, and he has a short amount of time. And so he's roaring, but it's a wounded, fatally wounded lion. And he's trying to use his roar to incite fear in you. But I just want you to remember, when you hear the roar of temptation, and the roar of you're missing out and you should bite into this apple of temptation. I want you to know that roar comes from a crazed, angry, defeated, pathetic devil. He's done. Jesus won the battle. Don't give in to the sins.